Are you interested in breaking into the entertainment industry? Backstage catalogs, casting calls for movies, television shows, and other mediums, along with other industry work. Also, you can provide listings for your own projects on there. Backstage is trusted by organizations like Disney, Netflix, and HBO for work on their content. In the description of this video is a link for a special membership deal to join Backstage from me, Ryan Holman. Richard Petty is a legend in American racing, seeing that he won the NASCAR Cup Series championship 7 times in 200 races in the series, including the Daytona 500 7 times. Each of these are records that have not been surpassed as of 2022. Something that several of Petty's NASCAR contemporaries did was attempt the Indianapolis 500 with varying degrees of success. This included Cale Yarborough, Leroy Yarborough, Bonnie and Bobby Allison, and Neil Bonnet. Petty never did this. However, he did participate in a great race as a team owner. That will be the subject of this video. After Petty retired as a driver following the 1992 season, the Petty Enterprises team continued to compete in the Cup Series. One of the drivers for the team was Johnny Andretti, an IndyCar turned NASCAR driver who drove for them from 1998 to 2003. At Martinsville in 1999, Andretti got the win and, in the process, gave the original Petty team their final win. In 2009, after years of struggles, Petty Enterprises merged into Gillette Evernham Motorsports, forming Richard Petty Motorsports. The new team had a mixed first season. On one hand, Casey Kane got a pair of wins at Sonoma and Atlanta and finished 10th in points as a playoff driver. On the other hand, none of the team's other drivers even made the top 20 in the final standings. While all this was happening, the team expanded their forays with a familiar face. Johnny Andretti was part of the famed Andretti racing family. His uncle was Mario Andretti, the winner of the 1969 Indianapolis 500, 1967 Daytona 500, and 1978 Formula One World Championship, and his cousin Michael won the 1991 IndyCar Series Championship. John had a respectable career of his own. In 1989, he won the 24 Hours of Daytona, and Andretti then won in IndyCar at Surfers Paradise in 1991. Additionally, from 1988 to 1994, Andretti qualified for Indianapolis each year. Additionally, from 1988 to 1994, Andretti qualified for Indianapolis each year and finished in the top 10 4 times, with a best finish of 5th in 1991. Starting in 1993, he began to compete in the Cup Series. Besides the aforementioned Martinsville win, Andretti also won the 1997 Firecracker 400. In 2007, he made a return to IndyCar by qualifying for his first 500 since 1994, and then competed part-time in 2008. However, in 2009, Andretti made his return to full-time Cup Series competition with Front Row Motorsports, who expanded their program to do the complete schedule. Andretti was not done with IndyCar, though. In April 2009, Andretti and Petty announced that they would be competing in that year's Indianapolis 500. The entry would be done in conjunction with Dreyer and Reinbold Racing, a full-time IndyCar team that had a pair of cars finish in the top 10 in the 2008 500, Buddy Rice in 8th and Townsend Bell in 10th. Andretti made his first attempt to qualify for the race on the second qualifying day and had a 4-lap average speed of 221.109 miles per hour. Then, while practicing his car, Andretti lost control exiting turn 1 and badly damaged it. Graham Rahal, who was just behind Andretti at the time, barely avoided Andretti's wrecked car, further compounding Andretti and Petty's issues with Scott Sharp dumping them from the field. They would need to return the following weekend to qualify. Andretti and Petty returned for the third day of qualifying with a repaired car. On that day, Andretti posted a 4-lap average speed of 219.442 miles per hour, which tentatively put him in 31st place. On bump day, track conditions caused speeds to be higher than the third one. Andretti would get bumped from the field by Bruno Junqueira. Andretti would struggle to get requalified, though. With less than 15 minutes left in qualifying, Andretti made an attempt that put him 34th. The Dreyer and Reinbold team then made adjustments to Andretti's car. With about 8 minutes left, Andretti got one last chance to qualify
After Buddy LeSieur and Stan Barrett waved off slow runs and Alex Tagliani and Oriol Servia withdrew from the line, Andretti's third and final attempt would go great.
As his average speed of 221.316 miles per hour was quick enough to put him in 28th place on the grid.
Andretti's race would be rather uneventful. However, this was not necessarily a bad thing, seeing that 10 drivers would retire from the race due to crashes, including Andretti's Dreyer and Reinbold teammate Davey Hamilton. The highest Andretti got was 13th place. Ultimately, he finished the race in 19th. By being the final driver on the lead lap.
Andretti finished on the 500 lead lap for the first time since doing so in 1993.
Following Indianapolis, Dreyer and Reinbold fielded the number 43 entry in 5 other races, with Thomas Scheckter and Roger Yasukawa driving it and getting a best finish of 8th at Chicagoland with Scheckter. This entry had no involvement from Petty.
In 2010,
Petty's IndyCar venture continued with Andretti driving. This time, they would partner with Andretti Autosport, the team owned by John's cousin Michael. The combination made their season debut at Kansas in order to prepare for Indianapolis. Andretti qualified in 17th place out of 27 drivers. In the race,
he stayed in the teens for most of the first half.
On lap 129 of 200, Andretti started to battle with Takuma Sato for 10th place. By lap 175, when Andretti made his final pit stop, he was in 6th. Eventually, Andretti fell off of the lead lap, although he still finished 1 lap down in 9th place. It was Andretti's first IndyCar top 10 finish since Indianapolis in 1994, when he finished 10th. 500 qualifying would go poorly, considering the Kansas performance. On pole day, Andretti had to make the top 24, otherwise he would have to requalify on bump day. Andretti's first day attempt was too slow to qualify, so it was waved off. Ultimately, Andretti posted no speed on pole day. On bump day, Andretti was the first driver out and had an average speed of 224.518 miles per hour. Throughout the day, he was never at real risk from being bumped from the field.
A nice difference from 2009.
The 500 itself was mixed. Entering the race, there was an immense interest in Andretti's teammate Tony Kanaan, who was surprisingly starting last.
After replacing his qualified car, due to crashing the car he intended to race and ultimately did, during qualifying,
it was thought that the historically strong Kanaan, who had won the 2004 Series Championship and made the 500 top 10 4 times,
would quickly move up. Perhaps Andretti could work with his teammate and the team found a good step to move past theoretically quicker competition.
Early on, they moved up, although Kanaan was running further ahead than Andretti. On the back straightaway on lap 14,
he tried to block Vitor Meira and push DJ Vizo partially off the track.
In the process, Andretti lost momentum, and prior to this, he was running 18th, just behind Kanaan.
Right after the quarter distance mark, Andretti was given a pass-through penalty after blocking Dan Weldon on the main straightaway. The penalty would put Andretti 1 lap down in 25th place. Then, on lap 64, Andretti got high exiting turn 2 and hit the wall. This would bring an early end to the race, causing Andretti to finish 30th. Petty made a return at the 2011 500, once again with the Andrettis. On pole day, the whole Andretti team seemed to be struggling. Johnny Andretti's initial attempt put him in 23rd place at an average speed of 223.393 miles per hour. Although this would not be quick enough to make the top 24, after being bumped from the field, Andretti subsequently requalified with an average speed of 224.981 miles per hour, which would be good enough for 17th starting position. In fact, he was the only Andretti car to qualify on the first day. For the race, Petty would be in attendance. Following a lap 28 restart, Andretti was running 11th and was, by extension, the highest running driver on his team. However, starting in the second quarter, there started to be an issue with Andretti's car. He speculated that there may have been a damper failure. Regardless of what the specific issue was, Andretti would ultimately finish 3 laps down in 22nd place. Although the 2011 Indianapolis 500 was the final time Richard Petty's team entered IndyCar,
His familiar colors and number appeared in the series one last time.
At the 2015 500, Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports entered Connor Daly as a one-off.
Daly's car was sponsored by Smithfield Foods and looked like their Cup Series car, which Eric Almirola drove for Petty at the time.
Daly started 25th, but retired from the race due to an engine fire during the parade laps, causing him to finish last. Richard Petty's IndyCar foray may have been brief, but it was interesting.
Flow Racing is the home of live and on-demand racing content from NASCAR, USAC Racing, the Chili Bowl Nationals, the All-Star Circuit of Champions, and more. This includes events, original programming, rankings, and behind-the-scenes footage. Go to the link below, also in the description and pinned comment, for a special subscription sign-up from me, Ryan Holman. Monthly subscription rates start at $12.50 per month. Now we're off to the races.